My name is Alex, and I'll guide you through InDesign tutorial. Should be pretty straightforward actually. Um, so that's InDesign, and what you use it for is this for you to like design something for print. So for example, brochure, cards, design, your name cards, even presentation sheet. So and they are designed for labeling, layout, composition. So it's really good for that. Yeah. So I would recommend the first thing to do is change the unit setting. So if you go edit, preferences, unit and increments, everything is in a sheet, so you don't have to write down. By default is point, which is really good for typography, but like for us, we would like to go for millimeters or centimeters. That will be ideal. Click OK. To create a file, new document. So in the document menu, there is intent that you can choose. Number of pages. So for now, I will go for 6. And facing pages basically is if you are design something that foldable, like a book, and you probably need that. But like if you design something that just single pages, you no need to check that. So I will show you. So that's with the facing pages check. So as you can see, they are in that form. So if you uncheck that, oh, sorry about that. 6. See? So this will be good for you to do presentation because you know the size and they'll just one sheet. So, but today, so that's facing pages. So you can choose the size you want, or you can just type in manually. And columns is just a guide for you to do the columns. So if you click, if you type in 3, and it should show up. See, they'll have the columns, and these columns they won't print it out. They're just for guidance for you to like keep your layout consistent. So if you can create whatever columns you want, and margin is same as it's just a guide. So you can type in whatever you want. Bleed and slug is something that you use when you create a booklet, or like when you have no edge-to-edge printing. So most of the printer that have no edge-to-edge printing, that means it's like if you print out something, they always move the paper a little bit. So in order to do like edge-to-edge printing, they usually print out slightly larger, and they trim it off afterwards. So that's what InDesign they use bleed for. So if you type in margin that's like 3 millimeters, you can see the pink red frame. So that's the actual size they're gonna print out, and you can trim it off afterwards. But for now, click OK. So you have the pages. And probably the next thing I'm gonna do is to show the ruler guide. So to do that, you can go to View, go to Show Ruler, or Control R. So as you can see, this is the ruler guide. So if you scroll out, and you can, you can drag from up there, and there is like this blue line. They won't print out as well. They just act as a guide, so that to keep all your layout consistent. So the next thing will be master pages. Do you guys know what is master pages? No? So master pages is something that you create like a template. So you can apply master pages by default. They will create one for you, but it's blank. So as you can see here, they have a little a. That means the master pages apply to all these pages. So if you double click this master pages, and they'll bring you to the master pages editor. So if you do something at here, they will apply to all the pages. So for example, if you already know, oops, I cannot do that. Set up the ruler guide. I'm sorry. And if you know you need a title, and you can click create a text form. Okay. So sign title. You have whole bunch of text setting at the top. So you can choose the font you like, change the font size. So, and you can select the alignment. So for example, as you can see, so this thing, all of the stuff you do in master pages will apply to all the pages. So if you double click the pages at here, they will return to your normal pages. As you can see, they will apply to each pages. So if you go back to master pages, and so what will be useful is create a page number. So to do that, go to you need to make a table. That's right. Sorry. If you go to the type tool and create a tiny text box, select the alignment, and you go to type, insert special character, go to markers, and you can click current page number. So they will appear like a little A at here. So these number pages will apply to page at the left hand side. To do that for both, you just simply select it, copy, paste, and place it at here. As you can see, they will show up in your pages accordingly. But what if you design a cover that without if you don't want the number pages, what you can do is you can click and drag the none icon and place it. They will disable the master pages for that page. So as you can see, the first page number is gone. So that's master pages. You can create like different master pages as well as a template. So if you have like different layouts for different pages, you can do that. So to create that, you just right click the master pages icon and go to new master, and you can key in your prefix and number of pages. So for example, if you just want a single pages, you can go for 1, but I will leave it for 2. So they'll create another master pages. So if you create something, so that's just same as the Photoshop or Illustrator. You can create frames, and to apply these master pages to like specific pages, so you just right click, you select the icon, right click, and go to apply master to pages. So at here you can see you can choose the master pages you want. So if you go to B, and if you want to apply 3 and 4 pages, what you can do is you just click it and comma 4, and they will apply to 3 and 4, page 3 and page 4. Click OK, go back. As you can see here, they have a little bit, so they will change. See? So create a new master pages, and if you go back, okay, if you go back, see they will apply again. So both pages are applied to the master pages. So you probably don't want the titles are all in the same, all the pages are the same. So what you can do is you can hold shift and control and click the frame. They will override the frame. So if you double click it, now you can type in whatever you want, maybe 001, and they will only apply for these pages. As you can see, all other pages are still the same. So you hold control and shift, and you click the frame. Yep, and you can override it. So they will be useful if you have like, you need a title right there and you need a text box. So you set up the template first and you can override it. So for example, if you go back to your master pages, you can, when you create the form, the text, you can set up like fonts and set up the settings that you want, the size, all the stuff, and they will all apply to like the one you override as well. So that's file setup. Next thing will be import or place image. So to place an image, you can, all the image in Indesign come with frames. So for example, if you so if you have your image, you can just drag and drop. That's probably most of the time we use that. So if you release it, your cursor will become like that. That means like you can create your frames accordingly. So if you place it, they'll place on the page like that. Or else, as you can see, the blue outline is the frame. I'll come to back that, talk about that later. Or else you can simply create a frame first and you can drop or create the image afterwards. So this is, you can select the frame tool and you create the frame. So if you already know where you're gonna place your image, you can pre-create all the frames and just drop different image on it. So now you have the frame tool, and what you can do is you can simply just drag, drop. See? Yes. So this is the actual size for your image, but what you can do is so if you enlarge that, so as you can see, this is the blue color frame is the frame tool, is the frame. So if you click the image itself, oh sorry, and they should show out this brown color frame. So that's your actual image frame. So that's the, if you hold shift to keep the ratio consistent, so you can change that. See, you can enlarge the file, or you can rotate it if you want to. So anything outside the frame, they won't show up in Indesign. So you can use it as a crop tool as well. That's, I think, one of the most useful thing. So if you simply just drag the frame won't move. To move the frame, you select the frame and you move it. So if you just want this part, you can select the frame, drag it, change the size. See? So, or else, what you can do is, the third way to import a file, import an image, is go to File, Place or Control D, and you just search your image file and you can place it. But normally you can just drag and drop. To resize the file, I think I already showed that. If you click the center, they will show up, and you can rotate it like that. So if you hold Shift, they will fix with like specific angles. So yeah. Okay, so for example, if you want to fix the image in the frame accordingly, so what you can do is you select the image, right click, and you go to fittings, and you have all these options. So you have fit frames to content, or like you can fit the content to frame. So if I click that, as you can see, they will fit your image to the frame, or the other way. But one thing you realize in design is all the images are sort of pixelated. So the reason why they do that is they're trying to keep your memory's usage as low as possible. So all these things you can actually do in Photoshop or Illustrator as well. But the thing is, the difference is, if you do all these things in Photoshop, when you have too many image, they will start to crash because they takes a lot of memories to load. So that's why you do your layouts, your labelings in design. Pardon? Yeah, they just come out normal. But what you can do if you want a quick preview, so you can select the image, right click, and you can go to display performance. So, and you can go to the high quality display, and they will show out in the full resolution. So that if you have like 1,000 photos, they won't crash. They will like. But if you find your computer is really slow, you can select it, right click, and go to fast display. They will just like that. But like that's only, you only does that when you're done with the pages and you move to another one which you don't need to see it. So that's probably useful in design. So if you do that, that's all for image. To create text, go to text tool, click and drag, and they will create a frame. So everything is come with a frame, so even text as well. So if you create a frame and you can start typing it, and if you type more than anything outside the frame, they won't show up. But what they will indicate you is they will have this little red plus sign. That means there is an error, which is you have more text than what the frame can be contained. So that means there is two ways to fix that. It's either you enlarge the frame so that you can fit more words in there. So as you can see, the red frame, the red icon is gone. Or else you can simply just create another text frame wherever you want. And what you can do is you select the first frame, and you can see there is a little square at the left hand side, and there is a square at the right hand side. These two squares, this is import, this is output. So if you click the output and you click anywhere in the next frame that you want to link, so you can link the frame. So for example, if you have like frames in the other pages, but you want to continue the text, you can always like type it. As you can see, they'll follow the frame. So that's how you link the frame. But like how you know the frame is linked? One way to do it, one way to see it is you select a frame, and as you can see, originally they are just squares, but now they have arrows. That means that they're linked to another frame. Or else you can go to View, go to Extras, and to show frames, like all the frames, you can go to View, Extras, and show frames, and sorry, they will show it out. They'll show the frames. By default, they shouldn't have the frames with it. So to show the linkage between the frames, you can go to Show Text Traits. And if you select the frame, as you can see, they will link. They will have the So okay. So that's it for frames. So for example, if I create many frames, and you select it, as you can see, originally they are just this square. Click it, link it. So these 3 frames are linked together. So you can place it in different pages. They will all follow continue type. So select it. They just fill up with like random text so that you can see it. So you have text, and if you want to place an image at the center, click. Oh, sorry. Control Z to return back to your previous steps. Sorry. You need to move the frame. Yep. So as you can see, if you place an image above a text, they will kind of go to behind the text. So what you can do is you have these red text settings at the top, these 4 squares. So the first one is there is no text wraps, and you can select the second one, which is 8. Sorry. Why is it not working? Oh, sorry. If you have to select the image first. As you can see, they will align for you. Or else, if you have like weird shapes or like circular shapes, you can click like other options. And that's text wrapped. Sorry. To change the text. So for example, if you want to change your text spacing between the text character, what you can do is you click the text, select it, highlight, and you can choose navigate to the top bar, and you can choose the size. Or else you can hold Alt and you just navigate with up and down and right, left button to do that. So that's quite useful. So if you have like tons of text. You select it, and you can do that. So if you want more space, or like you want it to be more narrow, you can easily navigate it. Just go back. So as you can see, like there's a lot of frames. It's really annoying. You can always go back, view extras, and hide the frames. Or else what you can do, if you want a quick preview of like everything without a frame, you can just click W, and they will bring you to like a preview page of everything. So if you click W again, they will go back. That's it for text. But the last thing is, I would recommend is you always check the errors before you export. So if you have like lots of text as the frames, they will show up in the errors. So for example, if I create a frame, and if I type in and then exit the frame, as you can see, there is one error. So if you have like multiple of them, they will all show up in the errors. So that will be useful if you, before you export the file, you always check your errors so that you don't have any extra text that you miss out, or like out of the frame, so that you won't see it. So to check that, you can double click the errors at the bottom, and they will bring out your errors menu, and you can click these little triangles, and they will show up your errors. So if you double click at that, they will show up. See, they'll link it to your errors, and you can always fix that, and they will gone. So that's it for text. To export a file, you can type go to File, Export, or Control E, and you can choose like the format you want, and click Save. And you have all these settings that you can go for, and they will generating PDF for you, as you can see. Alternatively, you can save the file just using Save As or Save. So if you go to Save As, you can choose the version of InDesign you want. So for example, latest like some of the file they don't compatible with the latest version of InDesign, so you have to save as like older or newer. So you can do that by changing the file type at here. Pardon? Template is like if you want to create a template for your friends or like for your groups. So you create a template so that everyone can use it, and like document is something that I think template is something that you can't change afterwards, and document just. So if you do that, that's the other way. Or else, I think one of the most useful feature is package. So in design, they come with package export settings. So if you go to package, what that does is, what's the difference is, they will package every single content what you have in the file. So if you use save as or save, all the image they won't link to the file. It's not like Photoshop. If you export, if you save anything, they will come with the image. But like in design, they won't. So all the image will just blank. So what you can do is you go to package, and they will bring out your package menu. So this feature, they will package your everything include in your document. So for example, if you have like fonts that you don't have in the other computer, and if you use the font in this file and you can package it, and they can use it in the other computer, although they don't have the font, they still can use it. So that will be quite useful. same as image and like text and all these things. So you have all these settings you can choose. And click package, save, and just type in. Can type in the file names, and they'll create a folder for you. So if you just click package, click OK. At the same time, in the package file, they will create PDF file for you as well, so you don't have to create one. So they will have your original Indesign file. If you close that, if you go in there, and they will have that. Oh, that's the package one. They come with a folder. So see, they'll have.
So if you delete the package and you just press save,
Mm-hmm.
does it still come up like that on this computer?
Yes.
And then so if you went to another computer, it might not.
Yep. The older image will gone. The text will remain, or like if you use like the phone that they don't have, they won't show up. So package will be quite useful for that, as well as in the package folder they will come with PDF as well, so they will convert it for you. So that's actually quite helpful.
So what would you use that for?
They just come with the package file, so that you don't have to like export PDF again. Or you can manually do that using the save functions. Basically, PDF is designed for you to do it for printing. So everything you print, you should save it as PDF. Will be better, because some of the stuff, when they have layers, and some printers that don't read it, and maybe you have like different layers in Photoshops, and they compress everything. Yeah, but you have to be careful, because the latest version Photoshop have created PDF that come with layers. So if some of the, so what you can do is you should always merge the file and you export it in Photoshop. But in Design, they do it for you. That's all for today.